The M1 Mac Mini is by far my favorite M1 Mac computer, and this video is going to be all about my full review of the M1 Mac Mini. And so, let's get into it. Alright, sup, no best here, and as I said, this is going to be my full review of the M1 Mac Mini, and so we're going to talk about all things from design all the way to accessories, the build quality, and everything in between. And so we're going to start off with the design. The M1 Mac Mini looks identical to a Apple TV, although it is much larger. You can probably put around 4 Apple TVs to cover the top surface of the M1 Mac Mini, but it does look identical to an Apple TV, obviously with more I/O on the back and a larger footprint, but the entire design looks almost the exact same. And so in terms of I/O on the back, you got your power, you've got your Ethernet, you've got 2 USB-C ports, you've got 2 USB-A ports, you got an HDMI port, you got all the things like that. And so the I/O is very good. You also got a indicator on the front telling you if your Mac Mini is on or off. Compared to the previous generation of the Mac Mini having 4 USB-C type ports, I really do think that they could have added a bit more on the I/O, such as a SD card slot or something like that. But I do think the I/O is good, and it is definitely good compared to the MacBooks and stuff that we have right now. Now, I have talked a lot about the M1 processor and all of its power and everything that the M1 can do. And so, yeah, inside of the M1 Mac Mini, you got the M1 chip. I have the 8GB of RAM model with 256GB of solid state drive. And so I really do love the performance on this. It is very powerful. Even though it's the base model, it is so powerful with 8GB of RAM. You can do everything, as you can see here. I can edit in Final Cut Pro with absolutely no delay. I can do everything that is needed. I can do even more than what I need. And so the performance out of this M1 Mac Mini is absolutely amazing. Apple did an amazing job on the M1 processor. I've done videos on the M1 MacBook Air and the M1 MacBook Pro. I'll link them down below the description if you guys want to check out those videos. I go more in depth about the M1 processor. But yeah, I'm blown away by the M1 processor, and that is what this M1 Mac Mini carries, is the M1 processor with 8GB of memory. Now, the M1 Mac Mini in terms of connectivity is amazing. All my Bluetooth devices connect like that, especially you have Apple devices such as AirPods or the Magic Keyboard or the Magic Mouse. They connect instantly with the built-in Bluetooth inside of the M1 Mac Mini. And in terms of Wi-Fi, this does have Wi-Fi 6, which is one of the fastest available Wi-Fi connectivity technology that we have today. And so connectivity-wise, this is amazing for all of your connectivity needs. Now, when it comes to the M1 Mac Mini, it's pretty much the same thing as all of the other M1 Macs. The only difference is that it's a desktop where you have to bring your own monitor and accessories. All you get is the actual device, compared to the MacBooks where you get the screen, the keyboards, everything you need. And so when you're going out to buy a Mac, you really need to think of what you're going to be doing with it, whether it's going to stay in one place or you're going to have to move it around. That's how you decide whether to get a desktop or a MacBook. So now overall, the M1 Mac Mini is mostly the same as the other M1 Macs except for it being a desktop. So there's not really much to talk about in this full review besides it being a desktop and talking about all the power and everything like that. So I'm going to do a full comparison in my next video compared to the M1 Max, the M1 Mac Mini, the M1 MacBook Pro, and the M1 MacBook Air. Now, the M1 Mac Mini is a great computer to get considering the price. It is the cheapest way to get into the Mac ecosystem and to use a Mac. The cheapest way, starting in Canada at around $829 with the educational discount, of course, and it is just an amazing price for a lot of power. It'll get everything you need done at such a low price. So that has been my M1 Mac Mini review. Not much to talk about since it is almost the exact same as all the other Macs, except it's the desktop, meaning you have to bring your own accessories. So let me know down in the comments below whether or not you guys have an M1 Mac Mini or any other M1 Mac. Let me know down in the comments below. But for now, that's been it. Thank you for watching. Please do go out and have a great day, and we shall see you in the next one.